Okay. Welcome back to On the Fringe. We're slicing, we're dicing, we're chopping it up with me, Gavin, and my good friend Dave. And this week we are talking about the travails of one Liliana Goodson, who was recently convicted in a Sydney court of importation of an illegal firearm and ammunition. Now, Dave, give us a little backstory on this.
Well, she didn't bring a water gun that pulled the trigger and a little flag that said bang came out. No, no, no. This was what looks to be a golden Colt 1911.
Yep.
And it is a pistol that she brought from the United States to Sydney, Australia to protect herself while she was in, drumroll please,
Clown
clown
school.
school. And it looks like she probably could have graduated, very, very likely would have graduated before she even got in. I mean, it's not a surprise that she got in with what she did, but this was not a very, very good move because Australia has very, very strict gun laws and weapon laws, and importing any sort of weapon or gun into Australia and to many other countries is a very, very serious crime.
Now,
So,
this has been going on for a while. She was actually arrested in May of last year, and she's been in, I think, sort of a house arrest, partial custody type state since then. Um, Before we get into the whole reason of why you should never bring a weapon with you on holiday, Uh, she was there attending clown school, which is already difficult for me to imagine. When I think of a clown school, I think of, the École Philippe Goyer in France, or, maybe the Barnum and Bailey's Academy that they used to have that was shut
mm-hmm.
down. Um, I don't think of Australia, to be perfectly honest. And I definitely don't think that the clown school would be located in a neighborhood that would somehow make you go, yeah, it's natural to have a gold-plated, pearl-handled Colt 45 just for protection. It,
Struth.
Struth, indeed. The interesting thing is, I think she was actually saved from doing more serious time because some of the things that came out during the hearing, I mean, it also didn't hurt that she pled guilty, but
Mm-hmm.
some of the things that came out in the hearing are kind of incredible. She had Googled multiple times whether or not you should bring a gun in your carry-on or in your checked luggage, which is already just sort of amazing to me. She also put it in her calendar, in her, I believe it was Google
It was
Calendar.
in her Google Calendar. They were able to look up
They were
what
able to
she
look it up.
actually searched, and they
Yeah,
found
go
it in
ahead,
there
Deb.
clear as day.
Yeah, put gun in luggage. Which, I think when the court saw that, probably went, okay, she wasn't smuggling. There was just a lack of basic common sense. Do
Mm-hmm.
not bring a gun with you anywhere when you are traveling internationally. Or to be honest, if you're traveling domestically, do not bring a gun on a plane. It does not matter if it's in your luggage. It
In
does
your
not.
in your in your carry-on, I will add that if you do bring a gun domestically in the United States, be sure to follow all of TSA's
Thank you.
regulations. Make sure you follow everything to a T. And if you do not follow the regulations, you have to present it to the people when you actually check in. Make sure that it's in a locked case. Make sure that nobody else knows the combination. Don't put a TSA lock on that case. Use a different lock. And be sure to not leave your gun loaded when you bring it. And make sure that you know the combination to your lock because TSA may want you to open that up to verify. Very
Yeah.
likely no, but you will have to verify it to the airline when you actually fly. And do not put it in your carry-on bag. I have no idea
Thank you.
where this lady put this, if she put it in her carry-on or put it in her check bag.
You put it
But
in her check-in, I believe.
somebody at TSA still, if you're bringing a gun to Australia, you would think that TSA or customs would see that and go, okay, what is going on with this? We need to stop this lady. But apparently somebody missed it, or I have no idea if
Someone
she
was
declared it or
asleep
not.
at the wheel.
But
Someone was asleep at the wheel.
this was a very likely mistake made by multiple people, this lady included, and probably somebody else from airport security. The Australians caught her, and you do not want to be caught in a foreign country with a prohibited item or drugs or a weapon or something that you cannot have in that country.
Or to follow up on this, ammunition. There are
Yes.
persistent issues over the last year with Americans being arrested in Turks and Caicos, of all the places, for having ammunition in their bags. And this is,
Mm-hmm.
again, importing illegal ammunition is a serious offense. There was a lot of back and forth with the local authority and the State Department. And eventually, most of these people were able to leave after a couple of months, and paying a fine.
Yep.
But
And two, you've got to look at
it's
it.
it's
You're
worth
going to
noting,
probably lose your job. You're
yeah.
probably going to have a very, very hefty legal bill, and you're going to put a lot of stress on yourself and on your family. So
And
double check.
please, please double check. And in Turks and Caicos, particularly, the maximum penalty is actually 15 years of prison. So these people got extremely lucky. Liliana Goodson got very lucky in Australia. And you know what? I hope those 4 months in custody go by very quickly. Wouldn't wish this on anyone, but do not bring a gun with you when you travel internationally. I cannot stress that enough. Actually, don't bring anything that could be construed as a weapon. Just don't do it. Really bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I was going to say, I have
so,
a couple quick personal stories.
haha, you do.
I do. So I have one from Peace Corps and I have one from post Peace Corps. So I had a small Leatherman tool that did not have a blade on it. I was traveling from Indonesia to Singapore.
Ooh.
And I went through security in Indonesia, and Indonesian security took my multi tool. And they said, you cannot bring this on a plane. It did not have a blade, it was a tiny little pair of pliers. And basically, if you try to fly domestically in countries, I mean, you can bring a small multi tool. It was TSA approved in the US. They didn't care in Indonesia. So they took my multi tool, $25, $30. I'd had it for, geez, this was the first 4 months, 5 months in Peace Corps service. It was gone. And then another time when I was flying from Korea to Singapore, I had a small wallet sized, I guess, multi tool that has like a little screwdriver and like a bottle opener and stuff like that on it. And Korean security did not like that one bit. And it was airline, quote, airline approved, but it did not work. So if you bring anything that can have a sharp edge or anything that could basically be used as any sort of a weapon, do not bring it with you in your bag. Put it in your check bag. They said I could put it in my check bag. I did not want to bring a check bag, so I just got rid of it. It was, I think, $3 or something like that. $2 from Daiso. I didn't really care, but it was just still a kind of a pain and a nice warning that be careful of everything that you have. It was a cheap lesson, because if I would have gone to Singapore with that, that would have probably not gone through, and it would have been a really bad day.
Indeed. So, moral of the story, if you do have to go to clown school, don't bring your gold-plated Colt with you. It's
Yeah.
not going to be the fantastic protection you think on the mean streets of Sydney.
And if
And
you're playing Carnival, it's probably not a very good weapon to use either. I prefer the shotgun.
anyways, I think that's about rounds it up there, Dave. We'll
Yeah,
talk soon.
we'll call it. Thank you.